story teaser number 3 for Win the Wellness W.A.R. And what does the acronym W.A.R. stand for? We are responsible. And one of my guys, one of my contributing authors here today, Mr. Marshall Townsend, actually has a pretty darn good history. Again, I've told you this, but thank you for serving us in the military. He's going to, thank you. So what do we do with these teasers? You guys can check out some of the other ones from this book and the previous book. We've got 3 books of the All Things Wellness series. And the first one's called The Fourfold Formula. You can find it on Amazon. And the teasers are either on my Facebook sites. You can find me there, or you can head over to All Things Wellness Media YouTube and see it there. So what do? These guys are going to tease you with about 250-ish words of their stories. This is a compilation book. So right now we have about 40 authors. We have 9 media partners, super exciting. And they're going to tell true, authentic, personal stories about their heart, spirit, mind. There is no criteria. It just had to be honest. No fiction allowed, boys. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Marcus, you going to read a little blurb from your story that's going to be in the book?
Is it going to be me first? Absolutely. Yes, if you wish.
You know what, Marcus? Let me introduce you first, buddy. So everybody, Markus Wettstein, he's an endocrinologist, and he is one of my besties. He's had to put up with me for a really long time. We are friends, we are buddies, we are collaborators, and he is my co-author for all 3 of these books. And sometimes I forget to share that. So thank you.
Well, thank you for that. Yes, I appreciate that.
Okay. Go ahead and give us a hint here.
Yes, go ahead. Well, then I remembered my high school studies. I started meditating to develop my spiritual side. At the same time, science developed quantum mechanics. This theory, to hold true under scientific scrutiny, has to invoke consciousness. So now we have a bridge between science and religion through cosmic consciousness. Some call it the field, others the causal realm, and yet others God. It has many names that cannot give it justice. Nevertheless, the energy provides the blueprint of our existence. This blueprint makes up our fractal universe. The fractal universe is a difficult concept. Essentially, it means that a copy of the whole exists in any part of it. This is similar to the holographic principle. Here, a place of an image contains the whole image in miniature form. In other words, as above, so below. But there's also free will, which is part of our individual consciousness. This is why we do not lead a predetermined life. Our individual choices make for an easy life if we follow the blueprint. Dis-ease or disease will establish if we veer off our path. So cosmic consciousness or spirit is the divine force of our individual consciousness. In other words, we are fish in the ocean of cosmic consciousness. And how do you explain to a fish what water is?
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So,
you both are, not that nobody else are professionals, but you guys are very professional. You've had an amazing career. And, we've come kind of a little bit from the Western world. So Marcus has been in Western medicine. We kind of understand that, right? Military is like black and white policies and procedures, get dressed. And I've watched your journey, Marcus, as far as, just enhancing and developing your spiritual side. And it's been an amazing growth to watch. Marshall, what was your thought on his story teaser?
Oh, just, well, it's very insightful. Like I say, it's a call to action for me I want to jump in and learn more about what he's talking about.
Right.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, that connection between, the black and white, it feels like you've got, so many years. We've talked before, Marshall, about this, that, Marcus and I kind of were in that Western medicine world where even in our profession, it was like not quite so cool to go, oh, I have crystals in my house and I listen to Gaia and all that, because you're kind of, you tiptoe around that stuff a little bit. But, when you get older, you don't care and you eat what you want.
Yeah. For me, it's like a quest of trying. I've been a scientist all my life. I understand and I am into the religious aspect of my life as well. And I want to tie these two together. And I think there's been a lot of questions asked that weren't answered and secrets kept by the institutions that hold spirituality sort of, at their will. So I'm digging right into that to try and figure this out for myself, and then hopefully I can spread it out there too. We are powerful creatures, and we ought to give ourselves credit.
Yeah. Amen. Sounds fantastic. Yay. We're also, Marshall, in this book, we're talking about the All Things Wellness wheel. It's a trademarked wheel with 24 spokes, and how it is to balance life, that whole life balance type thing. And so we've got some content with that from all three books. The next book's going to be called Wellness GPS. I love acronyms, so get prepared for success. There's the first. But you're so
one.
good.
Yes.
You're so good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
James Redfield wrote the foreword for us for the first book. This second one, Hassan Tetteh, Dr. Hassan Tetteh, he's a cardiothoracic surgeon, and he's also over 20 years in the Navy. You guys could chat about that. That'd be great. All right, let's hear your little teaser, Marshall.
Okay, well, we got to go back in time. Here's in 1985, and I'm training tank new lieutenants for the Army on armor. And there was a call for a medevac. And when I arrived on the location, I found probably one of the most catastrophic sights I've ever witnessed. See, there was another team training, and they'd been training in this wooded area, and they had completed their morning exercise and parked their M1 tanks up on a hill with the gun tubes over the back deck, and they began to dismount to conduct an after-action review of their performance. It was at this moment that one of the tanks' parking brake broke, and sending this 60-ton vehicle back down the hill, freewheeling down the hill with a lieutenant that was still inside the vehicle and another lieutenant that was on top of the vehicle. And instead of jumping off the tank, the lieutenants decided to ride it out. And the tank went down the hill, up over a dirt road, and then rolled upside down into a ditch. That was very small ditch, but the entire vehicle got upside down in that. One lieutenant was trapped inside, and the other one was crushed underneath the tank. And as I approached the scene, I could only see the other crews standing around, and my counterpart, one of the other team leads, standing next to his Jeep, talking the medevac helicopter in. And I immediately jumped down and asked him what was going on. And he told me about the rollover and the location of the two officers. And he told me that one of his sergeants was under the tank talking to the lieutenant that had been crushed. He also informed me that the medevac was about 5 minutes out, and he had called an M88 recovery vehicle. And that vehicle, we could see it coming up the tank trail at a top speed of 25 miles an hour. And I'll end right there. I'm just going to stop right there.
Stop right there. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. You're a very, very good writer. I see a lot of stuff. And what I just want to commend you for is that it was, it's what I call colorful writing, when somebody takes the opportunity to just sprinkle enough dust on it that it lures you in. I was there with you. I saw the tank. I felt it. I know what you feel like. I was there with your story. So I want to give you some kudos before it even gets published, that it was awesome.
Well, there's times when you got that pen and you're trying to shake the story out. I've got this, it's in there. It won't come out.
I know, we found that with this compilation book, because a lot of us in your past, when we're writing content for our careers, it comes so much more naturally. It feels like we've got our education, our experience, and we throw it out and like, yeah, we're going to sell it and we're going to go have go speak next weekend. But when you're really getting into the down and dirty about these specific stories, they bubble up a lot of stuff. Did you feel that when you were putting this pen to paper?
Oh yeah, yes. And in the one moment, I found that I was physically, I could still feel the physical impact on me. When in part of the story, when I talk about when we lift the tank and we went under the tank to get the soldier that was crushed, and we could feel the tanks on our backs as we were underneath it.
It's unbelievable.
And when I wrote that, it bothered me. It was like I had to get up out of the chair and walk around for a second because I could physically feel that again and went, oh my God, I haven't felt that since 1985, you know?
Literally cathartic, like
Yeah, it was
cellular.
like, oh my God, I remember now. I remember.
Marcus,
I would call it a near-death experience, honestly.
Right.
Yes.
Because you know that you're in immediate danger of being crushed, and you still go about what you have to do. I mean,
And I have to admit, at the moment, it wasn't me. I was worried about everybody because I looked around at everybody else and went, oh my God, if that D ring breaks,
yeah,
which is the basis of this story,
right, we're in trouble.
there's no way out. It's
Yeah, big,
Yeah.
but,
yeah, exactly.
but yeah, it was a physical, you know, a response from my body, from my mind at that moment that brought it all back just in the writing.
I
So,
love that. I joke now that I'm the compilation queen of America. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm an expert at it. It just means that I love compiling these stories so much and working with people and pulling that stuff out because I'm privy to how it affects people, you know, at 10 o'clock at night when they're like, I don't want to do this. This is scary. I put this stuff away. I'm not interested. And so I'm privy to just watching everybody grow and hear stories. If you didn't share this story, Marshall, of how that made you feel and come out the other side, we wouldn't know it. And that's what's so freaking cool about sharing these stories. All right, you guys. Well, that's the little teaser. This is number 3, and you can catch the other ones. We'll have many more coming up, and go ahead and get Fourfold Formula, the first book, so you kind of know what's going on. All right, let's say goodbye to everybody, and we will catch you next time.